Out. Let's talk about it. Let's get right into it, y'all, boy. It is the 8th of May. It's Thursday. And we here. Back with another goddamn, just a little market overview chart breakdown. I took a trade today. We ended up taking them by on the micro Nasdaq. We gonna go through that today. We gonna talk about just everything that I was seeing, what I was looking at, and what made me take that buy today. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's go ahead and jump right into EOT. So let me just clean everything up. Let me take these moving averages off. I'm gonna just clean everything up, and we're gonna start from the beginning. Dude, I'm gonna spit on myself. But for starters, we're gonna start off on the 1 hour time frame. For me, I feel like when it comes to day trading or like intraday trading, I feel like the 1 hour can represent like your daily or your H4 time frame. Because I feel like the daily or the H4 time frame is more for like swing traders. You know, you're supposed to be holding trades for longer than a day and all that shit. But today, not today. What am I saying? Fuck it. But what was I saying? The 1 hour, yeah. The 1 hour is basically the biggest time frame that I go on for like buy is I think because like my strategy is like a three-step strategy. You know what I'm saying? I need a higher time frame POI, a lower time frame market structure shift, and an even lower time frame market structure shift. So I need two market structure shifts, and yeah, 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 two market structure shifts and a hourly POI to go into. So really, this would happen. All right, put that blood down. So starting off on the hourly time frame, coming into the day, I realized what today is. This is what today is Thursday. So yesterday we came down and swept these equal lows. Came down and swept these equal lows. So that'd be like a higher time frame POI for me. Like I think anything on the 1 hour, like if I see a sweep of liquidity on the 1 hour, I see a fair value gap on the 1 hour, I see an inversion fair value gap on the 1 hour. You know what I'm saying? That's just my trigger to go to the lower time frame. And I like to draw a structure on the 1 hour too. So before all of this happened, this is how my charts was looking. I usually go in this bitch and do something like this. Throw my brush on, just mark out my highs and my lows so I can know where we at in structure. You know what I'm saying? So I had this drawn out. So basically, you can really just do it like that. Put that, try that drink out right there. And then we can do it like this. Make that into liquidity. So if you're looking at it like this is our most recent, well, this is our bigger time frame push. So we're bullish. And then on the 1 hour, I also add on my moving averages just to give me more help with seeing what direction we're going on. So we're above the 200 on the 1 hour, so I'm bullish. You know what I'm saying? I know once we close beneath my orange line is the 50-day move, is a 50 moving average. Once we close beneath this 50 moving average, I know that we either are retracing or we're reversing. You know what I'm saying? And if we close beneath the blue, I know that we're really reversing. We're going to the downside. So I say all of that to say Wednesday, we come down and sweep this liquidity. Boom. So once we sweep that liquidity Wednesday, I jump on the lower time frames and I'm looking for a market structure shift. And boom, we have one right here. This would be the market structure shift I'll be looking for. So boom, we got our market structure shift. And why is this a market structure shift? because these are a series of down close candles that swept liquidity, and we closed back above it here with this 3:30 candle. So this market structure shift happened at in the PM session. This shit happened at like 2. So this kind of set the stage for what was going to happen for me on Thursday. So me seeing all of this, what I do with my market structure shifts or like the manipulation move candles, I like to draw my standard deviations off the manipulation move candle. And I like to get, you know what I'm saying, pretty much targets to see where price could go at. So that was the thing I was doing as well. But ultimately, once I saw this and we closed above it here, I kind of figured that we were going to go get this liquidity up here. Another reason why I thought we were going to go get this liquidity up here is because one, we swept all the liquidity beneath. We had a market structure shift, and 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 we were stacking this liquidity here. You know what I'm saying? Stacking all of these lower highs right here. Yeah. So once we had this market structure shift and this close above right here, make sure y'all can see that bitch. And this close above this candle. Once we close above this high, now this becomes our market structure shift. So I'm at least bullish until we sweep this liquidity up here. At least. I'm at least bullish until we sweep that liquidity. So moving forward, let me take off these moving averages. So after we had this market structure shift and we displaced above, I started to try to track the bullish pressure. And how do I track bullish pressure? Is I try to find the fair value gaps that are stacked. Like this would be a fair value gap on the 1 hour after the market structure shift. So this would be the first sign that hey, okay, the bullish pressure is strong. So going into today, I had this fair value gap mapped out. So, and I was when I got to the charts, I realized we didn't sweep this high, and I figured. Well, I ain't gonna say I figured, but I know if we're gonna just get 1, 2, 3, 4, we're gonna get these 3 highs. Well, 1, 2 highs. I knew we was gotta come get this one. So this morning, I wanted to see price come tap back into this fair value gap to continue the bullish pressure. You know what I'm saying? So we eventually ended up tapping into this fair value gap at 10 o'clock. Once we tap into this fair value gap, that's the first trigger for me to drop down to the lower time frames and look for my market structure shift. So I dropped down to the 15 minute. I'm like, you can't really see nothing. So I dropped down to the 5 minute. No, 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 I'm lying. Lying like a bitch. Lying like a bitch. Lying like a bitch. But I was waiting for, like I said, a market structure shift. So I knew we was going to tap into this 1 hour for value gap. I would want to see. I realized we swapped liquidity here. And we started to make this bullish. Once we made this bullish engulf in here, I'm like, okay, let me drop down to the 5 minute. Let me see what the hell really going on. So once I jumped all the way down to the 1 minute. I ain't even gonna cap with y'all, boy. I dropped all the way down to the 1 minute. And I'm just waiting for a price to give me my clean market structure shift. Since on the 1 hour, we're back into a POI. On the 15, we back into this. We still in this fair value gap on the 15 minute as well. So now I'm just waiting on the lower time frames for a market structure shift. So my market structure shift was this right here. I'm gonna just put it as a fair value gap so you can get the point. I can see. Once we closed above these series of down closed candles, that was a market structure shift for me. I entered. Can I even still pull up my entries, or is it? No. Can I? Can I? Can I? Or no? Please. No bueno. Fuck them. Fuck Top Step. But nah, we fucking with Top Step. But this is my market structure shift. And I believe I entered off of this candle. Once we really closed above this high, I entered, put my stop beneath this low, And then I drew my standard deviations from this manipulation move. And I ended up getting out at the -1 because I was at work. So this really was just a 1-to-1 trade. I was at work, you know what I'm saying? And I couldn't really manage this trade as I wanted to. And you know what I'm saying? Ultimately, I feel like where I could have did better was I could have at least targeted my overall target that I originally had, which was the highs, or even the -2 standard deviation. Either one. You know what I'm saying? Usually, I target the -2 standard deviation. But that was really the trade for me today. You feel what I'm saying? We came into the market, we realized we swept this liquidity on Wednesday. We broke above, left a fair value gap, established the bullish pressure, displaced, left a gap, came back down, retested the gap, filled in the gap, and then went to go take out the highs. And that's just in line with the story that we've been marking out. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like we're essentially consolidating between these 2 points right now, which I think is kind of scary. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying when they say when you're consolidating, you're really accumulating. So the longer you consolidate, the bigger the move could be in either direction. We could be going up, we could be going down. But as far as like for right now, you know what I'm saying, just marking out structures, we're still bullish. If I throw on my MAs, we're still bullish. So going into tomorrow, if I probably won't even be trading tomorrow, but you know what I'm saying, I would want to see this fair value gap hold. If we are continuing to hold. I don't even want to see a hold. I just want to see what we do in this fair value gap because we could break through it, turn it inversion, and then start the bearish pressure. Cause now we've already swept all of the sellers. We done took all of them boy out. You know what I'm saying? And I think this higher time frame S&T is still intact. Like we still haven't taken out this high over here on the 26th of no, yeah, on 26th of March. Yes, 26. What is the 26th of March? Oh, well, ES didn't take out that high either, so it ain't no SMT. Mm. I don't know why I thought it was April 2nd. Oh no, this April 2nd high. That's the real SMT right there, the April 2nd high. Cause we still haven't taken out this high. If I delete everything, April 2nd. So we still got, you know what I'm saying, a bearish SMT that's still holding. So today might have just been the sweep of liquidity to eventually sweep that liquidity with the SMT to essentially start back to make a market structure shift to the downside. And then if you draw your standard deviations right, you can see what we could be projected to. We could go get this low and start the downtrend, or we could go get this low. So right now, I don't really know what's going on. I'm just taking what the market gives me. But this SMT, the sweep of liquidity now, because we didn't continue higher, we just turned around immediately. So that's I don't want to say that's not a good sign, but you know, another thing I was looking at was if I go to like the regular Nasdaq chart and I go on a daily, and you throwing this 200, we just hit our head on the 200 again. Tapped it. So I'm like, this look like some support. I mean, I'm lying. This look like some resistance. My bad. You know what I'm saying? Look like some resistance right up in here. We can't get above that 200-day moving average. If we can't get above that, then shit may be really shaky. If you add that 200-day moving average respect, you feel me? Like we keep hitting our head on that. We can't get above that. You add the SMT that we still have, and then you drop down to the 1 hour, and you see we just swept liquidity. We just swept this liquidity. If we tomorrow close beneath here, I think all hell could break loose. No cap. I think all hell could break loose. It could be one of those crazy moves. We got any news tomorrow? Let's see if we got some news tomorrow. And we ain't really got no news, so they may hold it up for next week. What next week look like? What that week look like? Let's see what that week look like. We got CPI, PPI. We got Powell speaking. Yeah, I think they could set this bitch up for next week. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and break this liquidity, consolidate at this 200-day moving average, or we could go back up one more time. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how I'm looking at everything right now. And if I was to just leave you guys with like how I would leave my charts for the next morning, I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick for y'all, boy. Show y'all how your boy really get down. What the fuck was that, dealer? Where the fuck was that? Cause like when I try to mark up my charts now, I only try to put things that are very not very important, that are just important to the charts. You know, I'm not trying to have just everything on that, because it's like when you have everything on your charts, it kind of can distract you from what you really be needing to see. You know what I'm saying? You gotta sometimes zoom that bitch at, and then come back in and be like, okay, all right, what's the story of the market? You know what I'm saying? So right now, I'm thinking like, what would I need to see? What do I need to see tomorrow? What would give me a trigger for an entry or to start looking on the lower time frames tomorrow? I really want to see what we do with this fair value gap here. So I'm gonna mark that out. Um, Also, just to hyper emphasize that this is still, we just swept all of this liquidity here. So now it's like manipulation moves to both sides, really. So they don't clear the board. That's what this look like to me. We cleared the buyers. We just cleared all the sellers. So if we break this and then tomorrow we come back up and retest, I think the I think all hell could break loose. And we ain't even got to really do nothing too crazy, because we still got this little small gap right here. If the Bears are really stepping into this hoe, then I would want to see this turn inversion. Yeah, something like that. 'Cause if this turn inversion, I mean, this going to end up being our market structure shift. I mean, if that ends up being our market structure shift, we can look at this as liquidity. You know? What else? We just swept the highs, so that's important. Swept liquidity. You know what I'm saying? That shit looking, yeah. Drop down to the 15, see how that joint look. I like, you see this maybe look better on the 30. Yeah, you still got this big ass gap here. So in the overnight session, now I would love to see something like in London. I would love to see something like we come up here, sweep this liquidity. You know what I'm saying? Do another little market structure shift, and then come back. And then by the time New York come back open, I want us to be coming back to test this zone right here. So we trickle our way up, come back, do that, break, and then let me make this shit look clear. This shit just look ugly. So this would be our liquidity point. We want to see price break that, give some type of rejection, sweep some more liquidity, and then break. And then by the time New York come out, we want to see something like that. And then if this is what's going to play out, you know what I'm saying? That's what I would want to see. That's what I'm getting my chart set up for because I don't think we going any higher since we didn't go any higher after we swept all of this liquidity. Because once we swept all of this liquidity, it should have gave it the fuel it needed to, you feel I saying, go boinkers on this bit. So yeah, yeah, I think that'll do it. I think that'll do it. I do think that'll do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all boys saw in the markets today. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can collab, talk about some shit, talk about some charts and shit like that, you know? But other than that, I'll see y'all boy today's breakdown. Holla at y'all boy.